stakeholders within the UK economy or UK ecosystem, right, to your products, right? So that's important. So we'll try. Coach Wale Ogunjobi is in the house already. Um, we'll try and tailor the conversation. So if you have questions, right, and if you are an independent contributor or individual contributor already, you're not a founder yet, this information is very useful because most of the things are transferable skills, right, that you can also leverage where you are. But if you know a founder, you know somebody that is building, you want to extend this link to them to join the session right away because this is going to be talking about how to move, from application. So we'll talk about application. The coach will talk about his journey from application. So you're going to learn quite a lot from that, from his experience. And then two, residency, right? All the good stuff in between, right? So buckle your seatbelt, right? And let's have a good time today. Thank you very much, everybody. Again, we are tech-enabled visa pathway. If you are on our platform, you know that we come bearing gifts. 85% of what we do on this platform is free. All right. So if you stay to the end of the call of this session, you are going to get some gifts. Right. I like to put it like that. All right. So pay attention. We've had series of sessions like this in the last year or two, right? Talking about various visa routes, talking about the US, Canada, Australia. We talked about Hong Kong. We've talked about Portugal, Spain, France, all of the tech-enabled visa, digital nomad visas, talent visas, all of it. We've talked about them extensively. And you can find those videos on our app. If you go to the eMigr8 app, you can check out those recordings and you can learn from people's experience and coaches' experience that have come on board. You can also check it out on YouTube, right? We have the eMigr8's YouTube page where you can find our resource and you can learn from these resource, just to point it out there. Now, if you're looking at migrating, if you're looking at relocation, if you're looking at extending your business, your ideas to a new geography, eMigr8 is where you want to start from, right? And we have our portals where you can connect with us through. We have our website. You can go to emigrate.com/tech visa, or just go to emigrate.ai, emigrate with an 8.ai. You would find us there, or go to on your app stores. You can find us on any of the app store, from Google Play Store to Apple Store. We are there. We have communities on WhatsApp. We have communities on Telegram. And we have a web platform that you can leverage on. We have a couple of campaigns that are running at the moment. One of them that we like to always prescribe is the Settle in the UK as a Tech Talent. Right. This is particularly friendly to beginners. So if you are a junior developer or you are a beginner, a tech enthusiast, you can get on this pathway, and with a roadmap, we can get you to become globally attractive in the next 1 to 2 years. Right. Again, subject to how you apply yourself to the process. We don't do this alone. We have a community of partners that we work with to, one, help you build skill and to expose you to projects that will give you confidence in building, right, real-time projects and real-life projects, right, and you can use that to apply for talent visas or work-based visas. The good news about the Settle in the UK talent, all the visas we are considering here allows you to move with your dependents. The good news is that you can also apply if you're an expert. If you are a C-level executive, you can apply. It will take an investment of time, right? It will take at least 3 months to 6 months if you are already a C-level executive. But if you're a beginner, you want to pace yourself. You don't want to rush through it. You want to pace yourself to get all the necessary requirements before you apply. If you go to emigrate.visa.com, you leave us a note there. We're able to connect with you. Or if you send us a message on the numbers you can find on the slide, whether a direct message or WhatsApp message, we're able to connect with you and give you the information that you're looking for. I've talked about eMigr8. We're a tech-enabled visa platform. What we do is that we help you become globally attractive. And how we do this is to help you appraise correctly your tech profile, or your tech-enabled visa platforms, your tech-enabled business platform, I should say, right? And that's what we are good at. We are good at surrounding you with information, connecting you with the right introduction, right, that gives you the right opportunity. And for us, the end goal of that is, or the side effect of it is that you become globally attractive. The end goal is we want to make you globally attractive. The side effect of being globally attractive is visas will be given to you by many nations of the world, right? If you have a talent, if you have a gift set, if you have an amazing product, right, many nations will be willing to extend you invitation to come into their geography to set up shop, to set up your business, or to close the shortage gap that exists all across many economy of the world, right? And if you're looking at, different geography, you're looking at global talent visa, you're looking at the French talent visa or the US O1 visa. We've curated an AI platform called Dr. Zenith, right, which can appraise you as I speak. You can go to Dr. Zenith, just scan the code you can see on the screen, and it take you to Dr. Zenith. Right. It's or go to architect.emigratvisa.com. Right. It will take you to the portal, and it's going to access you across all four of the visa opportunity that I just talked about: the global talent, the French visa, the German blue card, and the US O1 visa, right? And if you find that you are above 80% in any of them, that means you are good to go. If you are, if you are less than 80%, if you're less than 40%, it's not the end of the road. We can have a conversation on how to get you to become 90%, 80% and above, so that you can apply for the visa you really want to apply for. That is why we exist. That is what we do as eMigr8. And I would put a disclaimer at this point to say we are not immigration advisors. We are not a legal team, right? We only provide you with information, insight, inspiration, and guidance, and coaching, mentorship, from our years of experience of talking to coaches or individuals that have gotten endorsed by the different visas that we speak to, right? We are sharing information as to what is already out there. So, for example, the Home Office from time to time updates requirement for things like global talent, right? We share those information and we give you insight on what the expectations are, right? We give inspiration to say we have a lot of videos you can go watch. We have individuals that have gone through the process and have been successful, and we bring them to speak to you so that you are confident and you see what they did and you can emulate them. That is what we do. We don't give legal advice, and we are not immigration experts, right? And these are the snapshots of some of the visas we speak to, right? It's not an exhaustive list, right? But we speak to startup visa, we speak to talent visa, we speak to work and employment-based visa. You can take a screenshot of my screen at the moment, right? And you can do a Google search or ask Dr. GPT, right? Questions around any of these visas, right? And there are a lot of information online already, right, that you can benefit from, right? But these are the visas we speak to. We typically say you can apply for these visas yourself, but if you need support, if you need insight, if you need knowledge, if you need information, you can come to the eMigr8 community, either check us through our app or come to Open Day and ask your questions using the chat forum, right? So we speak extensively to these. So the startup visa, for example, for the UK is innovator founder visa. So if you have a startup, if you have an amazing idea that is doing very well, your traction is amazing, you're doing, month on month, 50% growth, right? And you see a market in the UK. Come, let's talk about the UK innovator founder visa. You might be eligible to extend your business or your startup to the UK. But today we'll be focusing on the global talent visa for the United Kingdom, which is otherwise called Technician, right? Technician visa. We've spoken extensively to many of the visas on this screen at the moment, but feel free if you have questions around other visas, we can speak to them. If not, if time does not allow us today, we'll definitely take the conversation to our community and continue the conversations there. But we do have resources online on YouTube and on our app that talks extensively about each of those visa routes, right, that you see at the moment. What does eMigr8 service cover? It's general inquiry session like this, informative session like this, coaching and handholding sessions that's ongoing with many individuals like you today. There are sessions, assessment, qualification, even Dr. Zinit, that I talked about. It's free. A roadmap to becoming globally attractive or to a globally attractive tech profile. That is what we do. Try to position you in such a way that you are putting your best foot forward. You are correctly appraising yourself, right? And also we do review your global talent applications and endorsement review process for global talent. Like I said, 85% thereabout of the things we do are free, including sessions like this that we're having, and we have a lot of gifts that we give out. But we also have premium services just because some individuals like personalized coaching sessions. Some individuals like a premium communities, and they want to be able to build their experience around their schedules, right? So that's why the premium the premium exists, right? Otherwise, everything you find in the free packages, you also can find in the premium package or the premium service. Is just that in the premium, the service is customized to your own experience. All right. And if you're interested in either of any of the sessions, any of the packages, any of the services, you can go to emigratvisa.com/tech visa or emigratvisa.com/pricing, and we can start from there. You can choose the option that works best for you. We have the do-it-yourself. You can come to our platform, leverage on all of the information we do share, and apply for global talent yourself or for any of the visas yourself. You can decide to say, I want to work with a coach or a mentor, right? And that's the do it with me. And we have coaches on the platform. These are people that have walked the path and they have gotten endorsement, right? It's not head knowledge, it's experiential knowledge that they're sharing, right? And they will work with you. And you can decide to say, do it for me. I want a coach, I want a mentor, I want logistics, and all of this put together. And we can talk extensively when you come into the community or when you decide to book a coaching session with us about the do it for me, right? It doesn't mean you completely abandon your project and somebody's doing it for you. You are participating in the process. It just includes a lot of heavy lifting, if I can use that phrase. All right. The packages that exist today cut across the United Kingdom, the United States, Canada, France, Germany, and the likes. So we have moved to the UK as a global talent, right? We also have moved to the UK as an innovator founder visa. We've talked extensively about our package on move to the US as a global talent and move to Canada also as a startup founder, right? We also have the self-start UK route if you're interested in that, if you want to sponsor yourself to the UK, that route exists. It's a very legal process, and we can explain that to you. It involves a bit of investment, but that can be investment in your own startup in the UK, in your own product in the UK. Then settle in the UK as a tech talent. This is a combination of the Global Talent Visa, the Innovator Founder Visa, and the Skilled Worker Visa. eMigr8, here in eMigr8, we say it's triple guarantee because we are applying for three visas on your behalf, or you're applying for three visas on your behalf. And yeah, there are chances, and we've seen the situation where people get all three, people get two out of the three, or sometimes get one, and it gives you that guarantee to cross over if you're looking at the UK. All right, like I said, you can use the chat to ask your question. We have our coach who I'll be calling on shortly to share his journey and to just give us tips on how to move right from application to residency. He has been endorsed as a global talent in the UK, so I'll be calling on him shortly. But before we get to him, what does our packages cover, right? Like I said, we have the do it yourself, right, we do have specific visa information that we share in our communities. We have templates that are free. We have checklists that are free. We have tools and resources that you can leverage on just by being in the community, right? And that is open for everybody. We have short coaching sessions, right, that you can take advantage of. We have the basic AI, right, that you can also take advantage of. And that's all these are free. But if you're looking to include personalized coaching, if you're looking to include strategic coaching session, if you're looking to use the premium AI agent, right, then you're talking about the Do It um, with me, right, extensively, and the Do It For Me package, right? So that those exist, right? And if you are interested in any of them, you can go to our app and start the journey from the eMigr8 app on Apple Play Store or Google Play Store or on our web, which is migratvisa.com/tech visa, right? The lowest common denomination across all the package, across all the countries that are offering visas opportunity for tech talent to come in, is that you have to be globally attractive. You have to be solving a problem, right? You have to have skill sets that is bridging the skills gap in this economy and in this country. So you have to be globally attractive. Nations of the world are shutting down specific visas opportunity, but they are opening up new visa opportunities that are picking the best of the best to come to their geography. So once you are globally attractive, you're spoiled for choice. You are trying to decide, do I want to remain where I am, or do I want to go to a new place, or do I want to, you have choices to make. It's easier once you have built your profile to command global relevance. And that is what we do at eMigr8. And that if you want to be part of that, you can start on this session, or you can you can start on this session, or you can drop us a message on our chats, right? And we can connect with you. I keep going back and forth. All right. Um, Hi Wale, are you still with us?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Yeah, hi, Moody.
Fantastic. Yeah, I'm going to be calling you up now. So
No worries at all.
Wale has been has been endorsed as a global talent, right, in the UK. He's a venture builder, he's a tech founder, right? So do please ask your questions. We don't get his time is very precious and it's very valuable, and we're grateful that he's sharing it with us. His story is even more precious, right? And we're grateful he's sharing it with us. So please use the opportunity, use the chat room to ask your questions. We will get to, he has the first few minutes to talk about the journey, then after which we'll take our questions, and we should be giving you back your time in another hour or so. So thank you for sticking with us. All right, Coach Wale, I will stop sharing now and give you the floor.
That's okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right, you can come up and you can take the mic. Thank you.
No worries. Hi, everyone. Can we hear me?
Yeah, we can see you now and we can hear you.
Absolutely, absolutely. I need to know if the audience are following. So this is what we're going to do. If you're following and definitely you want to be in the UK in the next 6 months on 1 year, I want you to put in your preferred city that you want to land in the UK on the chat. Just so that we can begin to take the step of faith. Once again, thank you for having me, the Immigrant team, and it's also a good thing that um, I'm one of the coach on the platform, and I believe that we're here to support everyone to achieve their relocation goals. And the truth is, every one of us that have been endorsed before. We were once on the flip side. We were once also, you know, hearing others speak, looking for information, looking for ideas on how we can get the only Moody said City of London. Okay, it looks like every other person.
I'm fitting it. So,
Okay. Yeah. So by the way, I asked you to do it because it's part of the things that you'll be asked, during your application. So whether you like it or not, you need to decide the city that you're gonna be coming. I can see Manchester, I can see London, I can see, sorry. Oh, amazing. Manchester. By the way, I'm in Manchester, so we can always, catch up here in Manchester. So a bit of my story, um, how I got to this point. Everybody is now saying Manchester. I beg, my house cannot contain plenty people. That's by the way, Birmingham. Amazing, amazing. Okay, so Wales, great. All right. It's fine, guys. It's fine, guys. It's fine, guys. Thanks. Um, so a bit of my story, right? The first time I heard about the Global Talent Visa, it was in a founders group, and somebody dropped the link, and we started talking about it. UK, if you want to travel to the UK, this was 2019. Um, we started talking about it and all of that. But after 2019 was when I just launched one of my startup company. It was an edtech company, and I was really focused on revolutionizing the education sector in Nigeria and Africa with that particular startup. Um, it was before COVID, and I had, you know, I was putting energy in it. I wanted to create an online platform because I believed that the next phase of education was going to be virtual and all of that. While doing that, the visa thing came up. But I was part of the people that wanted to build in Nigeria and do amazing stuff in Nigeria. So I didn't pay attention to the global talent visa. So I let it slide, but I had an idea what it was. 2020, fast forward, um, COVID happened, and UK was part of the country that you didn't even want to think of traveling to. When you read the news and you saw the amount of, people dropping, so we didn't look at it. 2021, things reduced a bit, and then I started to look at the visa, and then I reached out to a friend, not really a friend, but someone I knew from afar, just because she had received a global talent visa then. So I reached out to her to say, hey, I'll need some support and all of that. And she said, yes, she was going to support me, but I was going to pay a lot of money. As of 2021, I think she was asking for around 5,000 or 7,000 pounds. Um, I didn't have that money, even though I know that it was a lot because reading the requirements and all of that, you know that yes, this is a serious big deal. So I closed the chapter, but I kept on developing my businesses and all of that. Even before the education um, startup, I was running a media company before then. So I had that media company running, and then I was also running the education technology. Fast forward 2022, the whole Nigerian political terrain changed. And if you're a sensitive person, you figure that you needed to have a plan. And for myself and my family, the plan was maybe we need to move and then get to a place where it's, that is more stabilized, that have some infrastructure that can aid what we're building. And December 2022, myself and my wife started, to look at the application. So we read the requirements, and it was confusing at first because you needed to understand. And that was the first time I realized that the comprehension that we were taught in English language wasn't a waste. Because you have to read in between the lines to understand some nitty-gritties, as simple as your personal statement must be 1,000 words and it mustn't be more than 3 pages. As simple as that can cost you a whole application. So we started reading it, and then we were doing questioning. What do you understand by these? What do you think they are saying when they said these? We analyzed everything and we understood it. We also leveraged some videos like, webinars just to hear from others that have done it. And then we started the application. The application took 3 months for us to put together. And I'm going to mention a few things that you need to look out for as time goes on, as you put your application together. Um, it was a collaborative work between myself um and my wife, then putting it together because in this kind of application, you just need someone to cheer you, or because it can be exhausting, especially with the fact that for builders, for people that are doing a lot, it's difficult for you to put together what you have done. Sometimes it can be tasking for you to be able to think backwards to look at some of the things you have done. So you need somebody external sometimes to help you really look, um, you know, critically at some of those things. Especially sometimes as people building, we tend to overlook some seemingly insignificant things that we might even need for the application. So for me, my accountability partner was my wife, which, supported me. And then another friend that I reached out to that supported me through the process. But one of the things that helped me and that made my application faster and seamless was the fact that while I was running my businesses and my startups, unknowingly for me, I was already putting together a lot of evidences. Because while I was applying, I didn't need to put in new evidences or to try to create new evidences. Everything I used was what I had before. So I can remember in the early days, 2017, 2018, whenever there is a new achievement, product release, all of that, it's always, published on the tech blogs and all of that. There was a time We had a partnership with, some Nigerian banks and all of that. It was in the news. So we were doing that, not knowing that these things will, be useful later on. Also, before I started putting my application together, I'd also done a lot of speaking engagements. While I was doing that, I was just doing it from the mindset of giving back to the community, not knowing that it's going to be like one of the major part of the application, because they want to see the value that you're adding to the community aside your day-to-day job. And I'm saying this also so that we can learn that it's not just about revenue. It's not just about you scaling the business. You need to be intentional about how you are also giving back. And in this part of the world, it's something that they do not take lightly. And luckily for me, these were some of the things that these were some of the mindset I had. And, I was able to gather the documents together. Like I said, it took us roughly 2 to 3 months to put the documents together. And we put in the application. That was March 2023. When we put in the application March, the response came in May 2023. And between March and May was one of the longest period of my life. Um, I could check my email for roughly about 50 times in a day, looking for something that is not there. In fact, at some point, we had a way of monitoring how the assessors were opening, the application and stuff. And then at some point, we saw it was open the first time. We said, okay. Second time it was open, we said, okay, maybe third time it was open, and it was in a rumor during those times that if you have opened your document more than twice, 3 times, that means that there is an issue. We checked again, we saw they have opened it the fourth time. Oh man. Then when they opened it the fourth time, I felt like I can't do this alone. So I started fasting. I started fasting and prayer. As usual now, Nigerians, you want to back it up. Lo and behold, it was opened the fifth time. Ah, as at that time, it was May. In fact, it has passed the 8 weeks. They haven't responded. Ah, then all of a sudden, I think it was third of May or something. It was one afternoon like that. I remember I didn't go to the office. I was in the sitting room on the dining, and it was on a Wednesday, and I was fasting that day. So I opened the email. I opened my computer, and I was trying to just check the email as usual. And then I saw the email from the home office. I opened the email. The email was long, and I couldn't read. I couldn't even read it. I was just looking for, you know, the jackpot that will say whether because of this you have been endorsed or because of this you have not been endorsed. And then I saw it that for this reason you have been endorsed as a global talent. And that changed the trajectory of my life and family. Um, and that taught me a lesson that indeed the gift of a man can make way for him or um I mean sometimes people don't know, but this visa gave me the first opportunity of my life. Um, it made me one of the first people in my family to live abroad. With this kind of, visa that is not something that you have to just, permutate and stuff. And luckily for us, the visa allows that you bring in your family and all of that. I know I'm talking a lot of story, but I want it to be, you know, more interactive because you can read most of this information online, but I'm talking from experience so that you can understand the process. You can see that everybody that owns this visa um, today, they don't have to earn. They are not superhumans. They're ordinary people like you that have been able to do the right thing and documented their process properly. And also moving to the UK, it was also another interesting uh, moment for us. Settling down is another thing that people really don't factor in. And that's why platform like eMigr8 is key because they just don't help you get through the endorsement. They support you through the stage two visa. They support you through settlement, which is very, very important. A lot of people are here, even with the global talent visa, but are still frustrated because they don't know how to enter the city, right? Um, and then they're just laboring, the labor of the foolish, like the holy book would say. Um, for me, I didn't also have that support. Remember, I told you that I'm like the first generation immigrant for my own family. So there was nobody, no uncle, no auntie, nobody that you could just cut me, right? Uh, Coming here was just pure myself and my family, and it was a bit tough for us to navigate. Um, but at least right now things are, a bit more settled. The last time I checked, I've done close to like four businesses registered in the UK, different, doing different things. Um, by God's grace, we've done, a lot. Um, Running like two different offices, and for me, the same mindset I had from Nigeria was not just to come here and feel like everything is done. We are now, balling. No, it's coming here to see how you can continue to make impact, how you can continue to, build amazing product, or if you want to do 9 to 5, to also contribute to the economy. And these are some of the things that they want to see in your application. So let me leave the story aside and let me focus on a bit of some of the things that you need to look out for or that are essential for this application. Like the Global Talent Visa is in different category and aspects, but I believe we want to focus on the digital technology route for today, which was the route that I came in through into the UK. It's purely designed for those that are in the digital technology company. Before now, it used to be for those working only in a digital product-led company. But in recent time, it has changed. So even though you are not working in a digital technology company, you could be um, a tech applicant working, in a non-digital led technology company. So which makes the application a bit, uh, you know, um, inclusive, right? So it makes more sense now. Also, the category is divided into two. We have the exceptional talent and the exceptional promise. Both are under the global talent. But for the exceptional talent, they expect that you have more than 5 years experience, and you are a thought leader in your field. Fortunately for me, that was um, the one I got, and which makes my ILR journey 3 years in the UK. This year I should get my ILR this year, all things being equal, because I moved in 2023 and this is 2026. But the other category, which is exceptional promise, are for those that their career is still within 5 years, not more than 5 years. So if you fall under that category, it means that you have to do 5 years in the UK before ILR. The assessing criteria for that is more um, lenient than the exceptional talent. But also don't confuse it. Don't say because the requirements for the exceptional promise, which is for potential leaders, are linear. So you are now an exceptional talent based on your CV and your career path. You now want to apply for it won't work, it will bounce. So you need to apply for the one that fits your profile and your, you know, career track record. Now, six different things you need to look out for when applying for this visa. First is to understand the eligibility criteria. Don't forget I said that before we even started the application, we spent a lot of time understanding it. If you cannot understand it by yourself, you need to engage a mentor that can really help you understand, and not just understand it, help you assess your profile to see where it fits in. And that's where, the AI assessment thingy comes in and all of those things, right? If I were you, I'll take advantage of it just so that, it's able to give me some assessment. And then your ability to understand the requirements that they're asking for. The way I break it down is I tell the people I support that you need 15 documents to apply for the global talent. You need 15 documents. Um, Maybe I should mention them quickly. The first is you need your CV. Number two, you need your personal statement. Number three, which is another three documents you need, are your recommendation letters, which are three, making it five. CV, um, personal statement, document, and then three recommendation letters, making five. The other 10 documents you need are your 10 evidences, which are four mandatory criteria, um, one, three optional, and then another three optional, making it 10 evidences. So if you combine your 10 evidences document and then your three personals, three recommendation letter, one personal statement, one CV. It makes it 15 documents that you need to put together for this application. If you can grab that, it makes it easier so that you know the quantity of documents that you're gonna put together. Now, the next thing, which is number two, is you need to first of all craft your strong CV. You need to craft a strong CV. Usually, I tell people to prepare their CV first because your CV is going to influence every other thing. For instance, your CV is going to influence your personal statement because your personal statement is more like explaining your CV in details and putting some other things that would sell you to the assessor. And not only that, explaining how you want to impact the UK economy. The third thing is your personal statement. It has to be persuasive. This is where you sell yourself. When you're applying for the global talent visa, in Nigeria, they will say, don't blow your own trumpet. But in this application, if you can buy Vuvuzela just to blow yourself or hire Nathaniel Bassi to come and blow your trumpet for you, you need it. You need to be as boastful as possible in talking about yourself. Usually they tell you to be, not to use I, but all through your application for the global talent visa, you need to be that selfish. I led this, I did that, I did. Then you need to blow your trumpet all around. Tell them every amazing thing you've done. Um, and then tell them how you are the best thing after eMigr8 in the UK. That's what they want to hear because this visa is not just for anybody. Uh, so if you look at it from the flip side, the UK also want the best end. So you need to tell them that yes, you are that person they are looking for. So you need to include how you will be valuable to their economy, what you're looking to build when you get to the UK, where you are looking to do that. In my own application, I added there that I was going to add to the economy in the digital media sector, which of course I'm still doing. I also mentioned in the educational technology sector and AI. And I mentioned the specific city, which is Manchester. In fact, I went on to do research on Manchester and I added it there. I told them the statistics of, you know, things happening there, how Manchester is like the third largest city in the UK and is like one of the highest tech economy in the UK, blah, 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 to show that, yes, I mean business, right? This is where you put all of that, which is your personal statement, where you sell yourself. Then the next thing is to begin to gather your evidences, right? In gathering your evidences, I usually advise that, you put these three things into consideration. First, you make sure that your evidences have either a third party um, verifiable media clippings, right? Especially from tech blogs or what have you. Second, if you cannot get that, is you must have strong references, right? Strong references. Um, Also, you need to have, if you don't cannot get that, you need to then have um like images or YouTube links or something that shows that yes, you have really done that. Without all of these things, it will just look like you are the only one giving them lumber, right? Because I need us to see the application as you are telling someone you have done this. They need to verify it. They can't just take your word for it. If indeed you are somebody that you say you are, they need to also hear from a third party to say, okay, how okay, yeah, that's true. And how you can show them that is finding a verifiable, third party evidence to add to it, which can be in form of news clipping, um, uh, videos, or images, or reference letters, right? Those three things are key in putting together um, your evidences, right? I know there'll be a lot of specialized questions, but I'll wait for that to be able to take questions on that. Also, you must be able to quantify your impact. I mentioned earlier that in your application, they are not just looking at what you have achieved in your business or with the company you work with. They are looking at your impact. So they want to look at, how you have contributed to the field outside your day to day. They want to look at the impact you have made and some of the things, how you have contributed to impacting your community. Those things are very, very important. Also, on the flip side, regarding your own business or where you work, numbers and data are important. You must use metrics, things like numbers of downloads, you know, revenue. You must show some of those things. And like I said, showing some of those things is showing your evidences to say, yes, indeed, these are the things that you did. You are not just telling them with mouth or, telling them to go and find out. That won't work. And then lastly here, like I mentioned, is, to really position yourself as the talent they're looking for. And how you can do that is to tell a story across your application, from your CV to your personal statements to your recommendation letter. Let the story sync together. In my own case, I told the story of how I started um, training for Facebook, Google in Nigeria, to setting up my own media agency. And then from that, me being inspired to do something in education technology, because while growing up, I mean, what worked for me was not group kind of learning, it was personalized learning. And because of that, I developed Sabi Teach, the platform that connects, learners and, to one-on-one classes. And so I told the story through all my application. And in putting in my application, it was those two companies that I used for my application. And then beyond that, we have done a lot of STEM conferences in Nigeria that I was part of, you know, my company sponsor, or, was a co-convener there, where, we hosted 6,000 kids at some point and all of that. These were some of the things I used and I added it. And in doing some of those projects, we were just impacting people, but they came in handy for the application. So they want to see that your story, connects. They want to see your impact. They want to see the numbers. They want to see everything. And think about it as you telling the story of your life and you are selling it to them, right? And I believe if you're able to do all of this, putting it together in the right format, in the right way, telling your story, having third party um, verifiable links, pictures, videos, and all of that, then I believe that, they'll be more than happy to have you, in the UK. And I mean, the story can change. You continue to do what you love to do, have a new life for your family, your kids, and they will thank you for that. You know, I think I'll just pause at this point, Moody, and
Yeah,
we could take questions and,
yeah,
and all of that.
yeah. Thank you, thank you. That was very explicit and how you detailed it. We're all spellbound just listening to you, right? And how
Thank you.
you have, how you delivered your thoughts around it. So thank you very much. We have a few questions and we don't want to unsettle you, but we have a few questions within the community that we'll start with. And I will say to
No
everyone,
worries, man.
everyone on the call, please use the chat. Coach Wale is here and he doesn't have the whole evening, by the way. He lives in the UK now and the UK has a game today. So guys, make use of the opportunity while you have him. Uh, all right. So somebody asked the question here to say, I have built a startup with paying customers, uh,
Yeah.
but no major awards. Do I still stand a realistic chance of getting the global talent visa?
Um, yes, you have. You still have a chance. So there are lots of categories you can choose, right, in your application. So you need to look at what you have. What you have will now determine the type of evidences that you choose to submit.
Mhm.
So for some, if you don't have awards, if you have good speaking engagement, that could cover up for awards. For some that don't have awards, it could be mentorship, you know, that they have done across different accelerators and stuff like that. That could cover up for, that. In my own case, what I used in that category was awards and speaking engagement, right? I didn't have much of mentorship as at then. So that's why I said you need to be able to quantify what you have, understand the requirement, and then use what you have to then, put together your evidences. So yeah,
Okay. All
yeah.
right. Fantastic. I will try and join some of the questions together because they are speaking to different to similar themes. So I'll try and join them together. Somebody said, does serving as an investor or
Yeah.
advisor or a board member strengthen an application? And the next question I want to tie with that is what makes a solid application? Right. For
Yeah.
exceptional talent category or exceptional promise category.
Okay, so let me say this. First of all, if you want to apply, do a Google search put your name on Google, do a Google search about yourself. Um, what it brings out will determine if you stand a chance or not.
Mm,
Yeah. And if you now want to take the thing a bit further, click on the AI mode. If you want to do a test, put my name on Google and click enter, see what happens, right? So I'm saying this because almost every application, the assessors do that. They just want to have like holistic view of your digital footprint. There's no how you are a talent somewhere that even if you are silent about it, someone else would have written something about you that would say something about you, right? So it starts from there. If you have something substantial, then you stand a chance. Those can now form the evidences that you would use for your application. Now, the first question that talks about the board, the
Advisors.
um,
Yeah.
advisors, and all of that, unfortunately, they do not really, it doesn't really carry weight because who they are assessing is you and not others. Their influence do not mean anything to them if it doesn't translate to impact or growth or traction or whichever thing that you are presenting to them, right? Except if you're using a company that they fall in, at least one or two people there can give you reference letters that can come in handy. But because someone is on your board, you know, it doesn't translate, it doesn't add anything to your application. Yeah.
All right. Fantastic. There's a question. I think it's an easy one on the chat.
Hmm.
How do I get started for the global UK talent visa? It's something that aligns so well with me, and I would like to explore it too. I think that's why we're having this conversation,
Yeah.
right? So if you've been on from the beginning, Coach Wale has shared his story and his journey, and you can simply start by what he just said. Put your name on Google, see what comes out, right? And also go to the Home Office website and read about global talent,
Yeah.
and just see how those apply. But I don't know if Wale, you have anything you wanted to add, you want to add to that?
Yeah, so to get started, I need you to look at your what you've done in the last 5 years. If you feel like it's substantial enough and you have done some amazing thing, then you can start thinking about it. If you looked back and what you've done is not so amazing, then you need to start investing in that now. Like they say, the best time to plant a tree is like 10 years ago. So if you're looking at the global challenge, you need to have started the process like 5 to 3 years ago. But if you have not been able to do that, you can start now and then in the next 12 months, 18 months, 2 years, you can stand a chance.
Fantastic. We have another question in the chat, and I would need you guys to be a bit more explicit and direct with the question, all right, as much as possible. He said the four compulsory proof you mentioned, can it be mentioned explicitly? And I thought he did. And how do they verify private data like user metrics? Okay.
Yeah, so I'll start from bottom up. User metrics, screenshots would work, link to some documents, so usually how we do it, screenshot it, add the link there in case someone wants to dig deeper. Some tractions are media clippings, right? If you raise some money or you did stuff, usually they're on the news. You can put the screenshot there and put the link there also. But they will request that you send them password to your dashboard, and things like that. They don't go to that extent, but so that they won't count that evidence as not weighty, you also want to give them enough evidence that would, make that category um, genuine enough for them to, approve it. Then a list of the four things, proof I mentioned. I think I mentioned a lot of things, right? But I said in the evidence category, you need to do three evidences, right? The first is the mandatory, that is four different mandatory criteria. And then the two other category, which are optional criteria, you need to select two of it, and one of it comes with three evidences. So if you do two of it, that's six evidence. And if you match the four for mandatory, then the six for the optional, two of the optional makes it 10 evidences that will provide. Some people don't provide up to 10 evidences, right? But I encourage people to, because if you are providing three evidence, at least if two scale true and one doesn't, they might still give you that category. But if you provide one out of three or two out of three, your chances are reduced. And for me, I encourage people to, provide enough so that if they knock one out, the other can cover up for it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. And I think that's very important. And I think this is the easiest question on the chat. Somebody asked, does the Global Talent Visa have any age limitation?
Yes, it does, actually. If you are below 18, you can apply. But anything above 18, you can definitely do. Yeah. But I've never seen an 80-year-old or 90-year-old apply for it yet. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So there's no upper limit, there's lower limits.
Yeah,
So
yeah, absolutely.
below 18, then above 18, you're good. All right. Somebody asked a question in the community, and I'll come back to the chat briefly. And it's asking, as a founder, you must have
Hmm.
raised capital. Did that affect or impact your application? The fact that you raised capital, was that a plus for your application?
Okay, so unfortunately, all my businesses were bootstrapped.
Fortunately.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, fortunately or unfortunately. So it's not about how much you have raised. I've seen people that have raised substantial funding, but the application didn't go through. So they want to see real impact. They want to see how your product is doing. They want to see what others are saying about it, not just how much you have raised. In this age, people can raise and they don't even have a product, right? People can raise and the company dies in another 1 year. So that is good, but they need more than that, more than raising. So if I were in your shoes, if you have just raised, don't just depend on what you have raised. Put that money to use, build something substantial, combine the traction, the growth with what you have raised, and then your application will be stronger. Thank you.
All right. Fantastic. Samuel, I'm trying to understand your question in the chat. You started by saying, I started my career as a data analyst instructor where I have taught lots of professionals. Currently, I work as a back-end developer. I'm currently building an app for Invent. Right, so I started my career as a data analyst instructor where I have taught lots of professionals. Currently, I work as a back-end developer. I'm currently building an app for inventory that can help. Can that help my application? Right. I don't
Hmm.
know. Wale, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, yeah. So, um, of course, it can if the company you're working with is a strong one and you have some of the evidences of the work you have done. For instance, you have some of your stuff in on the GitHub. We can see some of your contributions. We can see if the app you have built is already in the market. How is it doing in the market? We have verification to see your contributions. And beyond that, like I said, they want to also see how you have contributed to the community, impacted the community outside your day to day. All of those things combined, would show if you have a strong evidence for your application. So what you have is good, but where you are doing it matter. You understand? And if there are anything to show for the success of it, that is also key. I think that's just how I can contribute
Yeah.
to that. Yeah.
Yeah. I think everything can help, but how you validate and verify it is
Yeah.
important. Yeah, but for a follow-up question, for a follow-up question in the community, I'm just trying to, how do I
Mhm.
prove my impact if my startup is still early stage and not yet profitable? Right, that's one question because I want to tie two questions together. The next
Yeah.
question, the next question is, if my startup failed, but generated significant impact before it fails, can I still use that experience as part of my application?
Yeah. Great question. Um, if you if you started, a startup, but it fails, look at it as it still being part of your story or your journey. So you can still tell the story. You can still use it. See it as an employee moving from one company to another. So are you saying because he has moved, he won't use that experience? So it's still part of your experience as a founder, and you won't be marked down on it. As a matter of fact, there's a way you can even tell your story and tie it to what you're doing now, and then use that, as some of the experience you had. And you can even use that as an evidence. If you have good tractions and everything, it can be a standalone evidence for your application. Then the other first one that talks about um,
Early stage.
early stage,
Yeah.
startup and all of that. The truth is, you don't need to be profitable before you can use that product for your evidence. As much as you have traction, right? That is enough. Traction impact can cover up for your profit. I believe what you are saying is profit, not generating any revenue or having users. So let me use, don't forget that this is eMigr8. Beyond this application, we also support with business consultation and ideas. So let me speak from that perspective, right?
Yeah, please do.
Now, for an instance, let's look at OpenAI. It was in recent time that OpenAI became profitable. In the last 2 years, 2 years ago, they weren't, but they got a lot of traction in terms of users, and they've got a lot of funding, right? So in the business world, usually, they don't judge you by your break even. They don't judge you by um revenue, at least for some time, right? So if you are in that category, it can still fly if you have the traction and if you have the impact.
All right. So
Yeah,
traction and impact. So guys,
yeah.
take note of those. All right, fantastic. We have limited time left, so if I can accommodate one or two more
Mhm.
questions before we let our coach go for today. There's a question in the chat, and she's asking, I just said she is asking, the global talent visa says you must work with like two product-led businesses. What if I am a founder and my startup is the only product-led businesses I have worked in? Can I still qualify for global talent visa? Mm.
Very intelligent question. So if you have just worked with one company, if you have been in that company for over 5 years, right? Then it means that you should have done some substantial growth within it. So within that, maybe different products or different initiatives, even though it's one company, those different initiative or products can serve as two, evidences. So let's use it, eMigr8, for instance. It's eMigr8, but under eMigr8, you have Dr. Zenith, you have
Yeah.
another products
Mhm.
that are doing fine. So you can use those different products independently, even though both are under one company. But if your case is that you have been working for only one company and you are just a new startup within not up to 5 years, right? Then you should start thinking about your application as an exceptional promise. So what you need to do is tell your story like that, you know, um, walk around it and use your previous experience, right? No matter how small it is, you can have a mix of you as a founder and your previous experience within a digital-led technology company or something, right? So if you can combine that, that will fly. Don't forget that this is not a job interview role. This is assessing you as a global talent. So for you to put yourself forward that you're a global talent, then you should have substantial evidences to show for it. If you don't have that enough, maybe you need another 2 years to be able to grow that to a point that it has substantial evidences for you to use for your application. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It does, and that captures it
Yeah.
very well. All right. Thank you very much, Coach Wale. We typically have a final set of questions, which speaks to five category of people, but I want to shrink that today into just two because you're a
Yeah.
founder, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
And I want you to speak to founders who are building amazing stuff in Nigeria, Kenya, Ghana, or wherever in the
Yeah.
world you're looking at this. And how would you convince them that the UK is the right market for them to come into, right, with their products, right? Or is the next
Yeah.
step that they should be taking if they are building amazing product globally? Then
Mhm.
then the second one is for folks that are stuck, full stack developer, senior developers who are thinking of what's the next step for growth. Because sometimes you can be in an ecosystem and you are literally on top, but you don't
Yeah.
experience any growth. Global talent might be a step for them to extend new growth because now they're in a new climate and new
Yeah.
opportunity. So I want you to advise those category of people. So founders, then guys who
Yeah.
are stuck and trying to grow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So first of all, let me say this to every founders listening to me or an employee. Don't just build or don't just deliver. Tell your story. Tell your story. As you're building, no matter how small, take a step back, tell your story. Because when the time comes and you want to tell people in the next 5 years that this is what you have done. If you have not told your story and you don't have somewhere that you can refer to, it will just be, fables. In Nigeria, they call it fabu, but I'm in the UK now. Let me teach you know. It should be just old time fables. And that's why I tell people, as you are building with one hand, be telling your story with another hand, though. As you are doing excellent stuff within an organization, don't let them, just cover up the impact you are making. Tell it somewhere, whether it's a blog or something, or as long as you are given the permission to do it, tell your story. Now, number two is if you want to move to the UK, have a plan. Because every terrain comes with its own problem, right? The problem you're facing in Africa is not the same. But when you get here, even though the problem you're facing in Africa has been solved, like power, internet, water, and all of that, another problem will also surface, like integration, like acceptance, like adoption. All of those things are things that needs to be properly planned and all of that. But you know, with that said, the UK I think is a fantastic place for founders to build. There are lots of opportunities, lots of people willing to support you. Maybe not necessarily in funding like places like the US and all of that, but at least you would have the right tools, resources you need. For instance, when I just moved into the UK, I couldn't afford to, get an office space there. Um, I can remember that the first set of offices I used, as my work space and all of that, it was free. Till date, I still have access to use that, you know, a fantastic place and all of that, access for free, right? So some of this little support we get, can help you build an amazing stuff. And if indeed you are solving a problem that people are willing to pay for, a problem that is solving real life solution, then be rest assured that it's either um, people invest in you, buy you, or stuff like that, but you can't lack resources you need, to thrive. Um, so I'm gonna encourage everyone, if you have done your assessment and you stand a chance, you score above 80, I think you should give it a try, even if you don't want to move directly, but have something that can give you the flexibility. Start thinking like a global citizen. That's one of the reasons why I'm here. I'm not here because I want to. I mean, I still run my companies across board, Nigeria, UK, US. I'm doing this because I want to get to a point where I'm able to move easily. You know, having the mindset of a global citizen and not just you being stuck somewhere, because it will impact your business. What if an investor says, okay, I want to meet with you in London tomorrow? Do you have what it takes to just take a flight the next day and go, or you'll be telling them story that, yes, sir. You understand what I mean? You don't want to be in that situation. So if you have the opportunity, grab it now, and then you thank your stars later. That's all from me, Buddy.
All right.
Thank you once again
Yeah.
for having me on this
Thank you.
session.
Thank
Always a
you very
pleasure. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Before you go quickly, the community would like to know how to connect with you. And are you building something that they can be part of? We have people that volunteers to be testers, if you have a sandbox environment, you're testing a new product, things like that in our community. So how can we find you? How can we support you? Because you have given us a lot of knowledge today, right? So
Yeah. Okay, so to connect with me, you can just reach out to me on waleogunjobi.com. That's my website. From there, you can either send me an email or you can connect me on social media or whichever way. But that's like my, you know, go-to repo, right? The way you can connect with me. And I'll respond to your email. I'll see how, I can support. And I've also got a conference coming up. If you want to be part of it in Manchester, it's a free conference also. Let's talk if you want to volunteer or you want to be part of either the project management team or whichever way you can support. I'm open to that.
tell us
Thank you,
about
everyone.
tell us about the conference. Is there a flyer? Is there something that
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
share?
yeah.
Yeah.
So the conference is called Reinvent Your Life Conference.
Okay.
And it was born out of the fact that, when a lot of people move into the UK, they get stuck. You mentioned something like that,
Yeah.
right? Because um, it's not just about moving to a new place. Every new season requires a new version of you. The things you used to thrive in Nigeria or whichever place you are in Africa is not the same thing that will make you thrive in a place like the United Kingdom. And for you to start to move from you being stuck to a point where you're also impacting and doing what you love to do, it takes a lot of, unlearning and relearning. And what we're doing with this conference is to bring together thought leaders that have been able to reinvent their lives, you know, to whether it's career, you want to pivot to a new industry or sector or something like that, you need to, be able to shape yourself in a way that it fits in, right? And that's what we're going to be doing in the conference. Um, Inspiring people, giving them what they need and some of the things they need for that mindset shift and transformation. And then they have moved from people that are stuck with, a whole lot of things, right? To people that are living their dream lives and are also impacting their generation. So I'll put the link um,
Yeah.
on
In
the
the chat.
chat, reinventyourlife.org. Um, yeah, it's free, totally free. If you're in the UK and if you want to be part of it, sponsor exhibit, please reach out. Thank you, Modi.
Yeah, thank you very much, Coach Wale. We can't say thank you enough. You have been great and you've been fantastic. Thank you. We would
Thanks, man.
communicate
Thank you.
the Reinvent Your Life conference in our communities and encourage those of folks in our communities in the UK to be part of it as much as they can.
Amazing.
Thank you very much. We'll
Amazing.
give you back your time right now. So
No,
do enjoy the England
no
win.
worries. Thank you.
Right.
Definitely, we're winning the World Cup.
It's
As
coming home, they say.
as Nigeria no qualify, we take our second nation. So we are rooting for England all the way.
All right. Thank you very much. Enjoy
Thank
the
you.
rest of
Bye
your
for now.
evening. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for the folks that are still on the call, I will just do some housekeeping, right? And also give you some information that you can use. You agree with me that this session was a fantastic one. Coach Wale really took his time, broke it down, right? And he really made it simple. So please, right, what gives us joy is when we see application. So when you apply all of these things that have been said, it makes sense. It gives us joy to do this again and again and bring people to speak to you, right? So it's important that you invest this time wisely. It's important that you are, applying all of the lessons, all of the wisdom that has been shared today. It is important that you encourage, you want to run into Coach Wale, at Heathrow Airport and say, oh, I was on the June 17th open day where you spoke, and that's what inspired me to be here today. That's why I'm in the UK. Those kind of story is what we want to hear, right? It's very important, right? It's not we're not just doing this because we don't know how, we don't have what to do with our evening, right? We are doing this because we want to see more people take advantage of these opportunities that are available, right? And we want to speak to it as extensive as we can till you get it, right? We do have the Dr. Zenith, which is free, which you can upload your profile, your resume, and it will give you a breakdown of what you should be looking out for, right? And rate you over 100. And I say if you get above 80, you should give it a shot. And to access Dr. Zenith, just scan the URL code, the code right on the screen, and you can connect or go to architect.emigrate8visa.com. It's just a simple interface. You can filter by the visa that you're focused on, or you can filter by all four, right? So we have the Global Talent Visa, we have the US O1 visa for extraordinary talent, we have the French passport talent visa, and we have the German EU blue card visa. So you can filter with all four, you can filter with just one, and it depends on what exactly you're looking out for. So it's important, right, that you take advantage of this and you start investing it forward, right? That's why we do this. We do have a vibrant community, right? Like I mentioned before, my coordinators will put the link on the chat if you want to join our communities. If it's your first time joining our sessions, you can join our WhatsApp community, our Telegram community, our Facebook community, any one of them that you are flexible with, that you engage more regularly, right? Because the idea of being in the community is that you want to engage, you want to connect, you want to share your own journey, also inspire people. It's not just for you to be inspired. There's a part of your journey that will inspire somebody else. So you want to be able to share that also. So that's one of the reasons. So we say engage, like, share, comment when you join the community, right? We talked about our apps. The best way, one of the best way to reach us is just download the app and their information. Please set your notification on allow so that you can get all the update and all the changes and all the information that we are distributing through the app. Now, if you've used the app before now, you know that I said before, we give a lot of gifts. So if you use the app for 7 straight days, that's 1 week, from Sunday to Saturday, right, you are going to win, right, something within the app. A coaching session, a 10-minute coaching session is what you are going to win. It's a free coaching session where you get to speak with any of the coaches. You might be lucky, and it might be Coach Wale you will speak with, right? So take advantage. When we say use the app, there are videos, there are recordings. The recording of this session is going to be on the app after now. There are literatures that have been written in the app. There are informations that we have there. We have put them together, and you can even book a session with a coach within the app. We've put all these resources together at a central point where you can easily access them. So you're not connecting multiple pages. You're not going on YouTube and going on Google and going on, you're just on a particular portal and you're able to access all the information you need, which I think the team has done a fantastic job in putting together, right, for us. Now we leverage AI so we have a human expert in eMigr8 community. We have the human expert, but we also have the AI, eMigr8 AI, for talent mobility, relocation, and settlement. And what the AI does is, again, leveraging on the human expertise, right, to help you plan, to pre-qualify you, right, to help you submit an application that you get endorsed. So once you have qualified, you are endorsed, we have to talk about settlements, right? And Coach Wale spoke about settlement. And you don't just want to settle in a new economy or in a new geography. You want to be able to thrive in that geography. You want to be able to do stuff. You want to continue your impact journey, your impact story, in that community. And that is what we are building with eMigr8. So we are leveraging AI to do that, right? We're leveraging AI to be able to go beyond the traditional method of data-driven solution. We want to be able to be more precise, it's called AI-powered precision when it comes to applying for the global talent or any of the visa route that we speak to. We want to be able to give you instant insights, real updates, actionable recommendation that you need when you need them. And we also want to be able to personalize at scale each of your uniqueness and tailor your profile to meet the requirement that the Home Office, for example, is looking out for, or the Global Talent for Digital Technology is seeking, right? So again, it's a seamless experience. We go global with eMigr8 AI. So you can go to emigrate.ai to learn more about this. I said before now that we don't do this alone, all right? We are part of an ecosystem and we have partners that we work with, right? And the slide you're looking at just tells you the vastness of what we do, right? We go from preparation, we have partners that we can work with, right, to give you information, to educate you, to training, to pre-incubators. If you have an idea that qualifies that you want to build into a startup, we can give you a partner who does the pre-incubators and work on the idea, and we can also progress that into an incubator and an accelerator program that can help you refine your idea, refine your product, and connect you to investors, connect you to stakeholders who are interested in your sector, and offer mentorship, right? And also, if you have a need for a lawyer, an immigration consultant, we can connect you with the lawyers in our ecosystem if you ever need them. Then we have HR recruiters across the globe who can, many a times are headhunting and are looking for the best talent for their clients. We can also put you in front of those. So these are the journey map, and we have partners across all of these journey maps. So we start from preparation, we do the roadmap session, we do the pre-qualifying and qualifying section. We help you navigate applying. When you get your endorsement, we help you with information around relocation. So a lot of people, and I like the way Coach Wally started to say, where do you want to go to? A lot of people have not thought about the city they want to live in, right? They're just thinking about the global talent, which is good, but you have to take it forward. When you get endorsed, where do you want to live? Have you done your research about that city, right? Because where you land is also important, right? And when you are in your city of choice or preference, right, how you integrate in that community is also very important. It help you ease into settlement proper. And of course, if you are thinking of reverse migration, right, which say, in the next 10 years, next 20 years, I want to be able to move back or move to a different country to give back and all of that. We do have partners who are working across this value chain and are willing to work with you. And one of our partners is the Bincom Dev Center, right? They pride themselves in building tech talent, in building startup, and enhancing tech talent. So if you are a developer, a tech talent, you want to build more real life projects, you want to increase your portfolio, I would advise you to connect to the Bincom Dev Center, right? And they are able to connect you with the right information, right? And if you are building a startup or if you're working in service or consulting, you want to be able to build or work in a digital-led environment, right? Or you want to just simply build more products. Somebody asked a question where the person said, I have just worked in one singular digital product, which is my startup. You may want to build more, and this is an opportunity for you to build a startup with a team of like-minded individuals like yours, right, to build a startup. So it's called Labs by Bincom. It's a 3 to 6 month program where you and a team of 3 to 10 people, right, or co-founders can create a startup from scratch, right? That runs quarterly, right? The program serves as a practical learning opportunity to improve your career and portfolio, as a techie. So if you are looking to As a product manager, you're looking to build more products. As a back-end developer, front-end developer, data analyst, you're looking to build more product. Take advantage of this service from Bincom Dev Center, which allows you build a startup product. And they do it from ideation to go to market. They take it to market, and it's amazing kind of product they have built. And you can add it as part of your portfolio if you're just job hunting. You can add it as part of evidence of what you have built if you're applying for a visa. So it's a win, right? For depending on anywhere you are on your journey. The Bincom Labs by Bincom, it's a win. It helps you build and improve your portfolio, right? Coach Wale say we should blow our trumpet. We've had a lot of successes, direct successes, and thousands of successes that have been curated by our coaches, right? So we have coaches who have coached people and they've gotten endorsements, and we've had coaches as a platform. We have also coached people that have gotten endorsement. I started initially and I shared this slide and I said, these are the visas that we speak to. And today we spoke to talent, which is the Global Talent Visa, right? We have, resource around startup visa, employment-based visa, digital nomad visas, right? That are leveraging technology, leveraging tech. And we also have the UK self-sponsored sponsorship route, right? And also the French tech visa for investors. So if you're an investor in the room, you want to look at both the UK self-sponsorship route and the French tech visa for investors. But if you're a talent, you want to go back and take all the notes that you've taken today that Coach Wale spoke on and begin to map out your strategy on where you want to begin. And like you said, you can begin by simply doing a Google search for yourself. Just take one action step. You don't need to take all the steps tonight. Just make sure before you go to bed, do one thing that puts you on that path so that tomorrow you can do another one thing. And before you know, you are, relocating and you're settling in a new environment. It takes a simple step. Trying to remember the saying, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step. So take that step today, right, to start, being intentional about applying and start taking those steps, right? Like we like to say, being globally attractive is our goal. We want you to be globally attractive. That's the common lowest denominator across all of the visas opportunity, right? Be globally attractive, be the best in your field, right? Be the best if you are a website developer, be the best in the team in developing a website. If you are, a business analyst, be the best analyst that you can be, and tell your story along the line, which is one of the things I'm taking away from this session. Tell your story. Don't wait till you want to apply and discover that you don't have, digital assets remotely anywhere online. Tell your story as much as you can. And the eMigr8 visa opportunity that we focus on, or the tech visa opportunity, oftentimes gives you pathway to settlement, right? Oftentimes they allow you move with your family, so you don't have an issue with dependents. And oftentimes all of them are beginner friendly. It just requires you to have a plan because you can't remain a beginner for too long. Once you begin, you progress to intermediary and to expert level on that track, right? And it's focused on tech-enabled opportunities. So we talk more about tech here, right? And we have discussed a lot about opportunities in our previous open days. So please go back and listen to them. We have documentation, we have literature that is called the eMigr8 Tech Visa Landscape that just tells you the changes that have happened. And if you can look back at the changes, you're able to predict in many occasions what is coming in the future in terms of the visa landscape, the tech visa landscape globally, and also in the UK. So take advantage of this literature that we update it, we publish it from time to time, right? If you need help in understanding some of the terminologies, the words that have been spoken or that have been used in the global talent requirement, right, please reach out to us. And if you are still on the call till this point, you have won yourself a free 10-minute coaching session, right? All you need to do is to join any of to redeem. You can join any of our community and say to the admin in their community that you are part of the June 17th open day session, right, where Coach Wale was the guest speaker, and they will connect you to the calendar and you can book a slot, right? It's a 10-minute coaching session, right? Take advantage of that to ask your questions, to get clarity. So it's mostly a clarity session, right? We can also help you review an application in those sessions, but it's 10 minutes. So take advantage of that. So you want that. If you need more help, if you're interested to talk about technician, the endorsement process, if you're interested as a founder, you need a partner, you need a mentor, you need a coach to work with, please drop us a message on the numbers on the slide, right? Either WhatsApp message or a direct message, right? And we would reach back to you and give you all of the information that we have that can move you from where you are to where you want to be. So yeah, so thank you very much for being part of the June 17th open day. We are glad you were here, and please pay it forward by implementing all of the knowledge that has been shared. And it starts by one taking a simple action. Today, from all you've heard, just take a simple action and pay it forward by applying it. So thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the month. We'll be back again next month in July, first Wednesday in July. Pay attention to our social media handles. We're going to be telling you real soon what we'll be speaking about. There's going to be a wait list for some of the sessions, so please join the wait list and forward it to people in your sphere of influence that you think need these sessions, this knowledge, this information. The link to this session will be available. You can also share extensively, share with your colleagues, share with your family members, share with everyone who is looking at the Global Talent Visa, right? And they have questions. Wale has answered a lot of questions today and gave a lot of clarity as to the Global Talent Visa. So this is a very rich resource that you should share, you should go back and listen to again, right? And if you have any question, you have the 10 minutes coaching session, right, that you can come in and we would help demystify or answer any questions that you may have. So thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day and we will speak real soon. Have a good one, guys.